Hey, good evening, fellow ghouls and specters alike. It's your ghost host with the most, Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive, here to engage in some haunted holiday hijinks by trudging through the catacombs and dusting off the cobwebs as we recount our spooky selection of Halloween classics.
So why don't y'all just light up some jack-o'-lanterns, suit up, and grab the candy dish as we revive and recount tonight's selection entitled Haunted from Happy Days. Hey. All right. How the hell are you, BlueDragonFive?
Spooky.
All right, so it's been a while since we've done one of these haunted holiday hijinks, so let's just jump right into it. Happy Days, of course, we reviewed 2 Christmas specials on the first Christmas in July, and this is the first holiday, this is first Halloween special. Is this the only Halloween special, or is this just the first one?
This is the first one.
That's what I assumed. I like how simple this premise is. It's just like, oh, there's a haunted house. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of an adult version of the Rugrats episode in a way, in a weird kind of way. I don't know. We can break it down. So with that in mind, you want to just get right into it?
Sure. So we started with a group of teens decorating Arnold's for Halloween, and
basically just doing a Tom Sawyer, whitewash.
Pretty much. Yeah, like they're decorating.
Hey, do this for me. It'll be so much fun.
Yeah, as kind of it's kind of like a tradition. Anyway, so Bag comes by, and Bag was a character within the first 4 seasons. Kind of like one of the bad kid groups, but not like all bad, just kind of like, rambunctious teens.
I haven't seen this guy a lot, but he seems like he's pretty fun.
Yeah, Bag has an apt name. He's kind of missing the douche from that, but he's
okay.
If it was 50s douche was much cooler though.
Oh god.
Anyway, so Bag brings up to Marcia, Arnold. Here's this Arnold scam to get free labor from people to decorate the place for Halloween. Anyway, so Bag says he and his group. Bag is the leader of the demons, I believe. It's all the groups and gangs, and basically Letterman gangs.
When you're a jet all the way from your last cigarette to your first cigarette to your last dying day.
A less musical version, yes. So basically, Bag and the demons show, they have chalk and they're ready to basically put the trick in Trick or Treat.
Oh god.
They had plans to making the whole town a 4-letter word, and
so like jack-o'-lantern in a way.
In a way, Marcia's saying, you know what I like about you? What? Nothing. Says, well, this time around, I hope you spell it right. And pops his balloon, he's decorating stuff. And then we cut to Ralph now popping his gum balloon, as he does constantly, because Ralph mouth, obviously. So let's see. So Ralph's planning a party as he always does annually, and of course the party's always crashed by the demons because they're rambunctious around Halloween. They love pranking people. They love just crashing the party, saying, "Hey, the demons are cool," when really they're not so much cool.
And the party this time is going to be held at the old Simpsons house because legend had it, BlueDragonFive, that long ago, back in the mysterious time of 1990. The Simpsons released their first Halloween special.
All right. But seriously, after some hilarious banter with Potsy, here's Potsy being the lovable
That will not be my last Simpsons joke.
Anyway, so, Potsy being the lovable doofus of the gang, at first, he evolved. It was saying, well, what's the least likely place the demons... Where would the demons least likely suspect us? Bag's house? Potsy, read your book. So I love the sincerity Ron Howard has that with that line. Potsy, read your book. Just like, have this conversation, you. So they happen upon the haunted house, the old Simpson house, and well, why there? Well, chicks get scared, which means they need comforting, which is RN.
And have you seen the new episodes of The Simpsons, man? They're terrifying.
Anyway, so but of course you can't tell anyone, especially you, Potsy. You can't tell anyone because you can't get your mouth shut, because you're the only one. Then the demons are going to crash the party. So Richie, why don't you check out the place? And Richie, he's trying to he's holding off on that because it's a known legend that the house is haunted. You know, he's a little. They're saying, "What are you, Chicken Richie?" No, he's got to pick up Joni. He's got to cover himself.
And
there.
of course, the Marty McFly thing runs deep in this episode.
Yeah. That was all the rage in the 50s.
Did you call me chicken?
Okay, anyway, so Joni's ready to go. She was at Arnold's helping decorate and all that stuff. And getting her pumpkin and perhaps, but nearby area. Anyway, so she's got her pumpkin, and Richie's about to walk out with her. He says, "Hey, Richie, some kid wrote some guy wrote something on my pumpkin. Is it a bad word?" And he looks at no. And he frantically grabs something to wipe off the pumpkin. This is a gag I've always loved. I love this gag. I love that it pays off. He quickly wipes off whatever word was scribbled on there, and says, "No, it's not a bad word. Don't say it around. Don't say it around Mom. I knew it." What does it mean? Just like the next scene. So then we got Richie at the haunted house. You know, Joni, she's I'm not going in there. It's people get decapitated.
This is a Simpsons house.
Right.
The new episodes are terrible. All right. That joke's gonna get really old really fast, and that's the one joke I have. So there you have it, folks. Good night. I'll be here all week.
So let's see. So
new Simpsons are terrible. Okay.
Anyway, so Joni's heard, I believe, from Phyllis Boyer, if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
Heard that Phyllis Boyer's been spreading the urban legend, kind of like Gerald in a way. That, the heads all the residents of this house have found that their heads keep disappearing.
This is the one thing this episode needs is a Gerald narration of the backstory.
Anyway, so why wasn't in Joni? Then it would have been in the papers about all the dead people disappearances. Says, well, they the ghost or whatever told the reporters not to write about it, or else they lose their heads. So so very very flawed logic at best. Anyway, so I'm not getting if I get my head chopped off, I'm telling Mom on you. Very very Peanuts like, very Sally Lucy type.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I got kind of that sort of vibe all the way through with these two.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, Richie's a Charlie Brown archetype, definitely.
Of course.
That's how things work out for Richie usually, because he's the clean-cut protagonist. We like Richie, not as much as we love Mike, but we like Richie.
Or Fonzie, for that matter.
Of course, well, he's the Fonz. Come on, that's poo-ing apple pie and Mom and America. So let's see. So Joni is holding her head. Holding her head, fearing it's going to be removed. Anyway, so we see the painting falls. Really creepy atmosphere is building here. It's a good job. She bolts.
I'm done. Peace out.
Smart girl, very smart girl. I'm not losing my head.
I love this shot. I love when Richie opens the door. We just get the dramatic zoom on his face. He's just like.
And the music's really adding to this scene too. And also like Joey said, I'm not losing my head for some Ralph Malph's party, some old Ralph. Again, very Peanuts-like in her lines. Anyways, again, I love it's like the horrors in what you don't see. Like, you don't know what the heck Richie saw. It's like
it's great.
Richie.
It's kind of built up throughout the whole episode.
Yeah, and Richie, look like Bela Lugosi sucked up your blood. Good old cultural reference there. Good old Bela Lugosi.
I love Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, we all love Bela Lugosi. So let's see. So then, he denies his fear, and it's just really hilarious. But just getting, people frantically in fear trying to get the heck out of there, and Joni's in the driver's seat.
Am I going to drive?
No, would you quit fooling around, Joni? I'm driving. And they says, well, I gotta get out of here. I'm hungry. He says, oh, how you gonna eat with your heart in your mouth? Okay, let's see. So then Joni's mocking Richie as they get home. And
she's just laying it on thick with the chicken references.
Yes, and of course,
if Marty McFly was here, he would basically pull an Alfred on Selena Kyle.
Okay, let's not go that far. Come on.
Much that girl's lights out.
Let's not go that far. So anyway, then Howard Cunningham, our beloved father figure here, America. We love Howard Cunningham. Howard's reading and he's just.
Hey, Mr. C.
Yeah. So let's see. So mentioning the pumpkin, nice looking pumpkin, all that stuff. Oh look, yeah, that pumpkin looks like your Aunt Bessie. Yeah, this is lovable father stuff. Anyways, it mentions there's a question about you went to the haunted house? Oh, you heard it? Yeah, it's the legend's been around since I was a kid. That long? Yes, we had ghosts too. They were younger then. Anyway, so a really great father-son scene, again, as they always are with this fantastic father character. Howard Cunningham is saying, "Well, what's wrong, Richie?" Again, all the genuine performance you could ask for from this guy, Tom Bosley. What a wonderful actor! Is saying, "Well, what's wrong?" It's the genuine concern. He hears him out. He says, "Well, it's something." So, no, I'm listening. You're never going to believe me. I'm hearing you. Seemingly, this is going to go well. And basically, Richie tells him, "Well, I saw beheaded women in there. I saw like one without a head there," and says, "Oh, of course you didn't."
Oh, you have a very vivid imagination.
Yeah, you did not. Anyway, so then there's this really great, again, Mr. Cunningham. He always gives such great advice, and I was a runner. He always gave good advice. He said, "Well, look, Richie, you're growing older. You got to look at these things logically," which is fantastic advice, really. It's saying, look, fear is just the inability to perceive something in the moment. Just you got to use the logic. Just figure out, well, what's the tricks here? Why is this not real? Why is this not actually horrifying? Which is good. It's a good little PSA to the kiddies out there.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I was a little kid, I used to be like, "Oh, you couldn't get me caught dead going through one of those haunted houses." You know what I mean? And now I love haunted houses. I go through them all the time, and I think it's just like the actors can't physically touch you most of the time legally. So it's like there is literally a physical barrier keeping you from getting hurt. And once you realize that, it's like, oh, I'm good. It's like they can like go up to my face all they want, but as long as they're not touching me and stuff, it's like I'm good. So yeah, I kind of appreciate that fatherly advice.
So poor Marcia is being tricked by those rambunctious teens who's getting chalk all over her, and the demons are throwing
Don't they have
water
this? Aren't they like going around trying to cover the whole city white or something like that?
Oh well, no, it's
Some
like
elaborate prank.
No, they're just doing harm. It's like it's like legally safe graffiti. They're doing graffiti with chalk instead of spray paint. It's like they can easily be removed.
Right.
Anyway, so that's what they're doing, but also they're throwing water balloons at everyone. So that's them just being like, literally, I think they even shatter a window. It's like, just like, yeah. Throwing water balloons all over the place, these demons. They live up to their namesakes. And poor Marsh. Anyway, so we see Fonzie and Richie. They have a really nice scene. I love that Fonzie's decorating arms because he feels he owns the place, even though at this point in the series he doesn't, but later on in the series he actually becomes part owner, which is kind of
right.
Well, he's got an office in there after all, the office being the bathroom. So let's see. So, Fonzie and Richie are having a discussion. What are you, afraid of ghosts?
Oh, well, looky here. Freaky freckle face Richie the Sea.
You can't
afraid
lie
of ghosts.
Yeah, you can't lie to Fonz. Well, how'd you know? Well, you can't lie to Fonz. Anyway,
You can't even lie to my mother.
Okay, let's. Yeah. So basically, you get rid of. Fonzie gives some really good advice here. He says, "Well, the only way to get rid of your fears is by facing them." Good advice. Again, it's interesting. Fonzie is kind of, by all means, he's the friend figure to Richie, but also a bit of a kind of fatherly advice. I'm not saying he is a father figure per se. I'm saying in a similar route of Howard Cunningham gives him really good advice.
I've always seen Fonzie as kind of like the classic big brother figure.
Yeah, he's absolutely the big brother figure. He's also kind of the perennial teen figure. Like he's the wisest teen of all, giving the advice. So he's kind of
like how Susie Carmichael was a wise old sage on Rugrats, being a 5-year-old.
Exactly. So it's like a patriarch, but in a different, but just in a general sense.
Sure.
Yeah, again, he's giving some good advice, like Howard Cunningham was, and Fonz. It's like that triangle of characters have always had like a strong bond with each other in terms of like the advice and the learning curve with these three. So it's kind of makes sense that Fonz would give them this good advice. Just saying, look, the only way get rid of your fears by facing them head on. So then a demon with a water balloon, throwing around like Fonz is like children.
Water balloons all over this place.
Anyway, so then Richie tells him at the haunted house, the old Simpson house, and says, "I can't go in there. He's seeing
Simpson's house. I can't go in there. They're showing season 25."
Anyway, so kidding. But I wouldn't miss the fun. Good split. Good scare.
Hot, bulging eyes, dry throat. Hey, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. And anyway, there's Richie's hit by a water balloon, which is going to come back, and then he says, "Hey, splash," and that's fun. That's funny. But then he says, "You got me wet." Talking to like the guy who threw it. So Fonzie. Okay, anyway, so Richie's watching a scary. This scene's really fun. So Richie's watching a scary movie at night. Not a good idea in the long run, but he's watching a scary movie.
It's nothing.
Yep. Anyway, so Joni spooks him, in her werewolf costume, trying it out. Like hairy arms, like boom, Whoa! And anyway, so you scream, and Howard's been woken up by this. You know, it was. Well, you were scared by basically after Joey's like told go to bed, Johnny. Well, I had to try on my costume. The sister always toying with the brother there. So Howard's he's a little worried about Richie, and Richie's a little jumpier than usual because of this haunted house kind of still sticking in his mind. He said, "Well, you were scared by that?"
Well, I mean, he does legitimately think that he saw a fucking decapitated body. I mean, that would traumatize you. I mean, think of the real world implications of that. If you just wandered into some abandoned house, you opened a door, and you saw a decapitated body, I mean, I know it turns out to be fake, but if you saw what you thought to be a decapitated body,
well,
it would fuck with you, man.
Well, let me specify.
Fuck with you. That kind of shit stays with you.
Let me specify. In this moment, though, he's mentioning. I guess he's. Well, he knows he's still a little wigged out by that, but in particular here he's saying, well, you're scared by a movie.
Right.
He's watching a spooky movie anyways. He's basically...
Well, the spooky movie, like you said, that's not the best idea in the world. It's really not.
But with this, though, a really hilarious moment comes out. So as he's basically telling him what the premise is, basically it's a Dracula movie, and basically he's wrapping him into the environment and building a great atmosphere. This is what a Halloween special should do. He's going to wrap you in the haunted, spooky atmosphere. Basically,
absolutely.
So like us, the audience, Howard gets sucked into it, and he's basically the point where he's grabbing the pillow in terror also, and he turns the light on. Well, don't watch TV in a dark room. It's bad for your eyes.
I can vouch for that too, because I always get a headache when I turn off my lights when my computer monitor's on. I'm like, oh god, I need the lights on.
That's a really nice kind of father-son bonding moment. Really nice.
Sure.
Anyway, so we see another kind of classic Halloween touch here. Mrs. C, she's getting Joni and her pals ready for trick or treating. Doing up the costume, and I guess she's going to go with them. And let's see,
to Joni's dismay.
Much to Joni's dismay, but more so for the thing all kids can relate to. We'll get to that in a moment. Richie is dressed as a skeleton. It looks really cool, by the way.
I love the costume. Yeah. I'm totally going to use that as a thumbnail.
I got to tell you what I love most, but we'll get to it in a minute with this costume. Anyway, so he doesn't want to, like Joni's saying, well, how do I look? He says, oh, you look so cute. I don't want to look cute. If I'm scared, I get more candy. And anyway, Richie's saying, oh, how do I look? And she says, oh, you look scary. I want to look cute. That was pretty funny. Anyway, so Jonas continues to mock Richie for being scared, and he says, "Look, one more thing, I'm gonna belt her." I'll tell Joni if she doesn't stop, I'm gonna belt her. He says, "That don't stop teasing your brother. He's gonna belt you." Joni just Mrs. C, the ever loving Mrs. C, just the humble messenger. That's what she is.
Oh yeah.
And then this bit, the old jacket stint. It's the old. Every kid who's gone trick or treating is related to this experience. I can vouch for. I think we can all. When the parents force you, parents or the grandparents tell you got to put on a jacket. Well, it covers up the costume. But
right.
Joni is going through that, and of course we've all been through it.
I mean, I go through it like with Six Flags. I always go to Six Flags in costume every year, and now my parents are just like, really, dude, you should probably wear a jacket. I'm like, nah, I'm good. That's basically the extent of it now. They're like, all right, you're gonna freeze your ass off, whatever. Don't complain to me.
Yep. Anyway, so let's see. So then, werewolf. Sorry, I'm just trying to think where we are here. Oh, right. So then Joni's complaining about mother. Werewolf.
Look at me! I'm the werewolf being taken on rounds with its mother.
Yes, and then we get a really nice scene between Howard and Richie, and Richie's saying, "Well, I can help you give out the candy." But no, Richie, don't miss your part. It'll be a lot of fun. And again, Howard kind of being the nice father, not being the oblivious guy. Like, oh, okay, sure, stick around. Sure. Richie, you're gonna want to do this. Go on. There's no such thing as a haunted house. Anyway, so this is a fun runner. Howard dealing with the trick or treaters. It's a fun little family situation there. Okay, so mother takes the daughter at trick or treating, son's going to a Halloween party, and father's stuck at home. Just watching, keeping it cool, keeping it casual, and also giving candy to trick or treaters. Really nice little setup there. So Howard Cunningham, he's a little cowboy happens by the door, trick or treats, and he gives a piece of candy to the cowboy, a piece of candy to the horsey. Can I get a kissy? And it doesn't mean like an actual kiss. Even by 50 standards, it might be a little weird. It just means like kind of the most like kissy, like Miss Piggy does,
Ooh, kissy.
Essentially,
it's still weird. It's still weird.
Well, again, it was the 50s, and he's
It's really weird. I'm not gonna lie, that part of the episode did not hold up well.
Well, again, it's so funny. It's a period show, but yeah, you get what it means. It was a different time.
I guess.
But still, it's kind of funny that the kid gives him like the raspberry.
I don't want to think of a different time when grown men are just casually offering kisses to young children.
It wasn't actually. He just meant the it's not important.
I'm sorry. It's just it's very poorly phrased.
Anyway, so there was this. He gives him the raspberry. Like, nah, poo on you. And then a fairy princess comes by, and Howard, oh, aren't you a pretty fairy princess? Gives her a candy apple, and just drops it in the bag, and basically, you broke my cookie, you big ox.
You big ox.
Poor Howard, he can't win. He just can't win.
Boy.
So then we see this costume. I thought was awesome. This to me, this is the one case where the jacket works. Just seeing a '50s skeleton in a '50s Letterman jacket.
Right,
I love that.
right, absolutely.
That I thought was awesome. That's a great costume.
Oh my god, I want to be that.
Yes, you should be. That's what you should be for Halloween.
Right.
Yeah, you should be Dead Ron Howard. That's what you should be.
Zombie Run. I don't know. I don't think that'd be as fun to put together as Zombie Jim Henson.
Well, just put on a baseball cap and do exactly this costume.
I don't know.
Okay, anyways, let's see. So basically, Richie's got his date.
As long as I don't have to grow out my facial hair for 3 months again.
Well, you could be young. You could be young Ron Howard, so it's fine. Anyway, so there's a Richie pulls up there in his Letterman jacket with skeleton costume, and he's taking the girl there. In his date. Don't get scared. Basically, you can obviously Richie is on edge. Don't get scared. And he's pointing out, he's just reassuring himself. Oh, look, it's fake. It's just decorations. Everything's fine. Are we early? Like, where is everyone? Ralph Malph makes his crypt keeper appearance.
Blowing gum in the process, of course.
Yep, he rises, and he rises, pops the gum. Happy Halloween, Richie, which is nice. It's agreed by all the participants, all the gang. It's really nice. See a bunch of cool costumes, and what's Ralph's costume, Tiki?
Alfred Hitchcock, of course.
Which I thought that was clever. I like that.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, master of ceremonies, master of suspense, same difference.
Right. They're bobbing for apples.
The coat transition was nice, going from like the coat to the cape. Really nice.
Hey, weren't you the main course at my last Hawaiian luau?
Yeah, Potsy's bobbing for apples, and you got the apple in the mouth, like saying it looks like a luau. The Fonz is there as one of his heroes, and he's mentioned this many times on the show. He loves the Lone Ranger. And he's there still wearing a little mask, same Fonzie outfit, just with a little domino mask on, and with Tonto, a beautiful. And this is a great costume. It's really a fantastic cosplay, really. It's just Fonzie with the domino mask as the Lone Ranger with a really attractive looking Tonto. Hey,
the question is she Native American? Is it as racist as Johnny Depp?
I'm going to say no. But Johnny Depp's an American treasure. In this case, a Native American treasure.
I wouldn't go as far as say American treasure at this point.
Well, you're right. At this point, he's a Native American treasure.
Oh, God. Really?
The setup was there. Okay, point is, saying, oh, hey, Kimasabi.
Even Black Mass had like a huge hype around it. Like, oh, this is John. And everyone's just like, nah, it's good.
All right, I was stretching for the Native American treasure a bit, okay? I didn't mean a lot of that.
All right.
Okay, point is, the little Kimasabi gags. Kimasabi, watch your mouth. Okay, so let's see. So, I say, well, I usually wouldn't come here, but I forget what her name is.
Don't ask me about character names because that's
basically the girls. Basically, the Cloris. Oh, it's Cloris. Cloris is a social butterfly here. She insisted on coming on time and everything. So let's see. So
we have a coffin with snack trays on it, which I thought was really cool.
Pretty funny. Bob's differently for apples, so he doesn't get his mask wet. Just like plucks it out, just wipes it on Richie, takes a bite out of it. So let's see. So Anyway, so Fonz, I guess, is wrapped up. He's about to go to Inspiration Point, and for Halloween,
And make smoke signals.
Yeah, make smoke
That's my
signals.
trick.
Yeah, grab your bow. Let's make smoke signals.
Oh boy.
Edgy for the 50s.
The only thing to fear is fear itself.
Didn't someone else say that?
Yeah, they got it from the Fonz.
Really great bit. And again, Fonz giving Richie some good advice. You know what I'm saying? The only thing to fear is fear itself.
Oh god.
Good line. Anyways, let's see. So then the power goes out as they're all dancing. Ralph is out of the room. We hear a man groan and struggle. Richie's calling him on it, saying, hey, you're ruining the party, Rich. And so because he's ruining the party, think, okay, well, he's going to ruin all the stuff we have planned out to freak these people out. So what are we going to use to scare them? A bird? Just looking to the Hitchcock angle of it. It's like, no, you dope. Oh, Potsy. The only Happy Days character you get to mention in a Pixar film, by the way.
Right.
Toy Story 3. So they're all set with a little way to kind of get Richie into the Halloween spirit. So they asked Richie to get more root beer in the closet. First of all, I would say, well, shouldn't it be in the fridge instead of the closet?
Right, yeah, that I noticed that myself.
Then again, there's probably ice in the refrigerator, but still, I'm not saying it was new or anything. It was an old house. I don't know if it might not actually have.
Well, that's true. It was an old house. That's a good point.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's an old house. Maybe it doesn't have refrigeration. It's in the 50s. I don't know how regular that.
So I guess they're just going to be drinking some warm root beer then.
No, I'm saying I think they brought ice, like coolers.
Okay, that makes sense.
Anyways, it's a hokey premise anyway. So they're all getting now. Again, something. Richie should have been onto this when he knows as he moves closer to the closet, they're all gathering up behind him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then he opens it and he finds out he sees the headless dummy that scared him earlier, and we see it's definitely a headless dummy. So okay. And they're all like, oh, Richie's scared, obviously, as anyone would be. And then Potsy sees another headless body descending from the staircase. As they all enjoy that laugh, they realize, oh, but we didn't.
And this is the bit of the episode where it goes kind of legitimately creepy in a way.
Yeah, it's
for
really
a second.
cool.
For a second.
So they're all scared. They're all dispersing. Ralph's not. Richie's not buying it at all.
I'll chop off your head.
Yep. This is oh, Ralph, knock it off. Does this look like do these bulging eyes look like bulging eyes of a Joker? Anyway, so someone get across. Someone get across. That works out.
Oh, and I also pointed out that I think the headless voice sounds a lot like "Give me the slab or suffer my curse."
Yeah, but so I love just kind of the interplay of cowardice between Potsy and Ralph Malph, as always, just saying, "Get across! It's vampires, you dummy!" And of course, Richie's saying, it's not real, and he unmasks, and then I guess Richie unmasks him, but then the thing unmasks itself, and we see it's Bag and the demons. They've crashed the party as they do annually, and Bag points out, "Hey, Cunningham was the only one that wasn't chicken."
Yeah, good job, Richie. Good job.
Yeah, good Richie. Again, sticking to his guns. And he's using that. He's using the Fonz's advice, and he's using his father's advice there, which is nuts. Saying,
right.
Think logically about the stuff, and he figures it out. There you go. So what's a party without demons? They're welcome to the party. Again, I want to make this clear, Tiki. So the demons aren't necessarily bad guys. They're rambunctious. Like there was an episode where I think Richie and Potsy are trying to join their gang. And again, what's not a gang?
On that, I don't think they're bad guys at all.
It's not like a gang. It's more like a club gang. Again, they're Letterman jackets, not leather or anything. Not like spiked leather. That's the difference. That's the difference. Anyway, so let's see. So then, as the demons are welcome to the party, Richie has a little thing with Bag, and this is hilarious payoff. And this is a great way to end the special before we come back to kind of the after. Not the after credits, but around the epilogue scene. We have Richie and Bag here.
The during credits scene.
That's an epilogue.
Yeah.
So Richie and Bag, they have a little moment together. Hey, you're just basically laughing over all this stuff. Oh, that little scariest hat right there. Oh, that was. And there's the Bag is laughing his head off. So yeah, that was great. He's like, oh yeah, you wrote the thing. Is Richie and Ron Howard, great acting here. Just saying, and you wrote that thing of my sister's pumpkin. Yeah, and you threw that water balloon at me. Yes.
Yeah.
Richie grabs cider or water or something, and he says, okay. And this basically dumps it on Bag's head. And he says, Happy Halloween. Not evil or anything, just like happy Halloween, you deserve this.
Mhm.
Then we see like a jack-o'-lantern as they're all just having a good time.
I thought that was cool. It was like, oh, we're dancing and ooh, spooky jack-o'-lantern, 50s.
Yeah, nice way to end the special. And then we have our epilogue scene. So basically, as again, another old Halloween trope that we all love is, going through the candy. Again, this, I told you, PSA was, this is like the old things still should be practiced today.
I did not know that this was a thing that dated back to the 50s.
Oh, yeah, I could have told you that. Yeah, it's always
I did not, like, because you see, I remember like midway through my childhood, it became a big deal.
Well, if I were to guess, it probably started like this is a generous estimation. I'm just saying, like I want to say.
I'm just saying, I remember my parents being generally more loose with it when I was younger, and then like the last few times I went out for trick or treating before I got too old for it, it kind of like that whole paranoia kind of crept its way in there, you know what I mean? But it wasn't really there when I was younger.
Like if I were to guess, it's probably been around since mid 40s.
Oh wow,
that's a guess, but I mean it could be around earlier than that. But I'm like assuming mid 40s. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just this neat idea. It's just like just like the whole thing. If it's unwrapped, you don't need it because who knows what could have tampered with it. Basically Joni's dividing up the candy hole, and the parents are going through it like they should, and that's the way I still live by. Usually it's less for lethal reasons, more for like, I don't care for this candy, you guys take it. Usually exactly. What it is, basically, like they're saying no to candy corn, which is a bummer because candy corn's awesome.
Yeah, well, candy corn is gonna eventually form the Halloween or the summerween trickster, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, that and gummy chairs. Okay, so anyway, then Howard points out, well, Marion, none of our candy was wrapped. This is what we know. We know what crazy people have tampered with the candy or done that candy. Well, our candy wasn't wrapped. Well, we're not crazy, are we? Like just you're crazy people around these days. Ask your father. And Howard points it out, and it's really funny. So we shouldn't be worried because we're not crazy. I know I'm not. Okay, anyway, and Richie comes by, and the party went good. It was a good party.
Yay!
Yeah. So as Joni says, as she's about to go to bed, she points out, I counted that candy, so if any red licorice is missing, I'll know. Then she goes and you see Howard puts it back. That Howard Cunningham. Oh, lovable Howard Cunningham. Then Howard shares a joke to
Hold
Richie.
on. Let me cue up our our rib shot sound effect for this one.
All right, you got it ready?
No, hold on one sec.
Can I get up to the point? Or
Sure, go ahead.
So he basically, Howard's sitting down with him, and he basically tells Richie and Marion, this joke he heard from a kid. That if you eat the inside out of a hot dog, what do you got? A Halloweenie. And he gets nothing. As they walk away again, Howard is left alone at dad with all this candy on Halloween, and he just Howard then he's about to eat that licorice, but he puts it back because he's a decent guy. Howard. He's a nice guy.
All right. So without further ado, that was Haunted.
Ooh. But seriously, what'd you think of it?
It was nice. I mean, I think, to tell you the truth, I think my expectations were a little high on this one, just given how much I liked both the Christmas episodes. And I think those two Christmas episodes are really special. But no, this is kind of a good, more, I want to say this is more kind of like a standard episode of Happy Days, whereas the Christmas episodes were more kind of like emotional.
Yeah.
So
this is a fun, harmless one,
Right. So in that respect, yeah, it's fun and harmless. I mean, I don't think it's anything groundbreaking. I don't think it's anything like terribly memorable. It's certainly got its good qualities to it. I like how it kind of builds around the whole idea of the haunted house and the town mythology and everything like that, the urban legend. But I don't know. To tell you the truth, I found it a little kind of like, all right, I saw it. There wasn't really that much there to.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Coming back to it.
No, I think there's enough there. It's like, it's a little annual thing, It's a harmless Halloween. All the little tropes you remember from Halloween growing up. It's all in there. It really is.
I'm saying in terms of like I'll go back and watch the Rugrats thing every Halloween. I don't think next Halloween I'm gonna be losing sleep. Like, oh shit, I haven't seen the Happy Days Halloween special yet.
Fair enough, fair enough. But for me, it's like this is kind of a blast to the past. Like all the stuff you know about Halloween, kind of one little special. Again, you had some great characters you
It is
recognize.
charming to see Halloween in the 50s. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a nostalgia from your own past, and then nostalgia for a past you kind of long for in a way. It's like this is nice, and of course through the lovable Happy Days characters we all like. It's a harmless special. I think it's pleasant, and it's a fun watch. I think.
Very little fawns.
Very little fun, but you gotta remember that's playing the Fonzie string. In the beginning, he wasn't used that much. Season 2.
So was this kind of like in the transitional period before? Okay.
Yeah. This is in the transition. So season one was very little Fonz, and this seemed they were starting to introduce him more and more because they realized he was working, but it was still like he would be in more episodes, but he basically be used periodically through scenes, but even the little chunks you get of Fonz, he's still kind of in the spine of the episode. He's like filling in those gaps. And again, I think even just as like a little morality thing, just the simple moral of like, hey, listen, just don't. If to kids out there and just everyone, just saying, look, if you get scared by something, just remember, the more you think about it, the less scary it becomes.
Indeed.
But if you're gonna, first of all, you hear that from a lovely father like Howard Cunningham, then you hear from the icon that is the Fonz. It's worth hearing.
And I can personally relate that more towards
it's a good message.
Stuff in the theme park realm, like stuff like roller coasters. I definitely kind of had that whole with roller coasters, I always say the scariest part of any goddamn roller coaster is the lift hill. Like, there is no roller coaster on earth where the lift hill is not the scariest part, because it's just the anticipation, it's the dread. And I feel like there's a certain kind of message here as well. It's like, as Fonzie said, because Fonzie started this quote, they got it from the Fonz. There's nothing to fear but fear itself.
It's a great it's a great simplistic approach to fear.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
I liked it.
I say that's about it. So what's on the docket next time?
Well, I know, folks, you might think we're liars because what we said we were going to talk about last time, but we had some issues with it, with finding it. That's why we changed the Happy Days. Just want to point that out.
Well, to be fair, I think Fresh Prince is kind of like a time capsule of the 90s, and Happy Days is kind of a time capsule of the 50s.
Sure. So we're talking about
70s.
So we're talking the next Halloween hijinks, haunted holiday hijinks we got going on here. It's one that's very near and dear to my heart from a show. It's very near and dear to my heart.
And it's a show that has not won me over at all.
Well, yeah, we started Tiki off on a bad episode, but we're gonna hopefully give a little more context if there's time with the the few episodes, but we'll see.
There's not time.
There's not time.
I guarantee you, there's not time for me to watch the pilot at this point. There's no time.
All right. Well, I think the next one's gonna be
literally no time.
Well, let's just say I think the next one was early in the thing, is a little less. You need to know a little less about the series.
Well, that's good. That's good.
The point is, about Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
It's
gonna be that. Spook. It's more spooky than Halloween related, but involves a monster and has a special guest star as that monster.
All right. Well, fair enough. We'll see how it goes. So is that about it then?
That's about it.
Wrapped it up. Okay. Well, folks, our spirits grow weary tonight, but don't worry, they'll be stronger than ever next time as we engage in more haunted holiday hijinks. Water balloons, just all over the place like children.